To Decision 2010 now, and we have team coverage tonight. Let's start with 24 Hour News 8's Danny Carlson. She's live with more about who's expected to show up at the polls tomorrow. Danny?
Brian, we're here at Westminster Presbyterian Church in Grand Rapids, and we went to woodtv.com and typed in the address of the Wood TV studios, and this actually would be our polling place if we lived at Wood TV. Now, you can see polling place is closed right now. It won't be open for a few more hours, but Republicans and Democrats are both doing everything they can. Hundreds of volunteers, hundreds of phone calls. They're trying to do everything they can to make sure that you come through this door tomorrow. That's the big push today on both sides of the aisle, getting people out the door and into the polling booth.
I encourage people to exercise their right to vote. My thing is, your vote is your voice. If you sit at home, you don't have anything to complain about.
There's just so many reasons to vote Republican this year. And I mainly just encouraged everyone to vote straight ticket.
According to the Grand Rapids City Clerk, a midterm election like this one would normally have voter turnout at about 47%. But this year, with higher absentee voting, it looks like that number could be more than 50%, both in the city and Kent County, something both sides say they're hoping for.
It's critical to get out and vote, because this is your chance to speak up on how you feel. Make sure you're voting for candidates that are for you. And the Democratic Party, we say these are the candidates that are for everyday people.
People want change, so they're engaged. I've never seen people so engaged. So they're ready to go to that ballot, make their voice heard, and vote Republican.
Welcome back.
When we first went to the Democratic offices today in Kent County, they were actually so focused on calling people to get out the vote, they initially didn't want to talk to our cameras for fear that it would be a distraction in making all of those phone calls. Now, if this isn't your polling spot, you can find out what is by going to our woodtv.com website, and you can type in your address and see where you are supposed to vote tomorrow if you're registered to vote. And don't forget to bring out a photo ID with you as you head out to your polling place. Live in Grand Rapids, Danny Carlson, 24 Hour News 8.
Political reporter Rick Alvin continues our team coverage right now with a look at some of the big races we'll be following tomorrow.
In just about 24 hours, we're going to have a lot better idea about the outcome of Decision 2010. There are a lot of races that we're watching, and here are just a few of them. Of course, the race for governor will have live crews with Snyder and Bonero, and we'll be watching all of these House races. Of course, we've got at least 2 open seats here. We have a tight race down in the 7th, so 2nd, 3rd, and 7th we'll be watching very closely, and not just because we want to know the outcome of those races, which of course we do, but the outcome has a larger picture. Look, here in the U.S. House, Republicans believe that they can pick up a bunch of seats. Can they pick up enough to go into the majority? We're going to watch that closely. If they do, that could have a big impact on the Obama agenda going forward. Same on the U.S. House. We'll watch those numbers as they change throughout the night. Well, what about the Michigan House and the Michigan Senate? Those 2 races could have a big impact on the lines that will be redrawn for redistricting after this election cycle, and that could impact the state for the next 10 years to come. So that's just part of what we're going to be watching as we bring you the most complete coverage of Decision 2010 beginning tomorrow night.
Our continuous live coverage starts tomorrow night at 8 o'clock on WXSP and streams live at woodtv.com. We will be starting at 9 with live, local, and national analysis on Wood TV 8.